let's introduce these guys here. First, we've got Miss Tommy.
What's up?
Hi, Tommy. And then we have the bearded, wondered man who's right now running a CNC machine working. This man doesn't stop. Here he is while getting paid and doing live at the same time. Kerry Griffin. Oh, say hi for the class, Kerry. Very good. Say hi. Oh, unless he's walking by his boss, which I understand entirely that move. Oh, he's walking outside. Wave to the camera, Kerry, at very least. Very good, very good. Here he is. He's with us now. Again, he's getting away from his job. Very good. The commitment to these people here is amazing here, as you can see. Oh, man. Kerry, welcome back, sir. So first, I want to ask you guys a couple of questions in regards to this new event that Dreaded Legends was started here in Florida. It moved to another location, and now it is back in Florida. Tommy, have you ever played a Dreaded Legends event?
Nope, not at all.
No. Have you ever done a CPX event before?
Nope, this is my first.
Oh, awesome. You'll really love these games getting into them. There's a storyline that goes involved. It's a lot of history and facts that we're bringing into this. It's not your everyday scenario kind of thrown a game, shooty game. It is definitely going to be divide and conquer. You're not going to be able to do everything in this setting from you being in a general end of it. You got to trust in the people that you have in your corner. This is definitely mission based. This is a mission heavy kind of game. So like your teammates like Alex, right? Like Lemming being involved. If he getting involved, he's going to love this because it is information. It's true facts. Your mission, one of your mission designers for this is actually a history teacher, and she loves the education and the knowledge that being able to get some stuff out of this game that you normally wouldn't get out of a scenario game or something. Kerry, you've played these games before. If I remember correctly, we went to battle together.
Yep, we did. I've XO'd and commanded 3 different Dreaded Legends games, and I've played all but one of the Dreaded Legends games that they've had.
Nice. Did you play the very first year, the Mudfest one, right?
Yep.
Nice.
I think year one was Muddy Legends, and then year 2 was sort of Muddy Legends.
Sort of Muddy Legends, right. There's Florida Tracks and Trails was the last place that the event took place at, and that was an awesome location to be able to host a game. Like, it was Florida woods ball. There wasn't a whole lot of man-made structures around there. It was a lot of just tall palmettos, tall grass, a couple of islands of tires here and there, but it was definitely there was what did they also have, like the little Vietnam village they had out there. That was a blast. That was good times there. Tommy, how many years have you been playing paintball?
On and off for about 17, I think, since I was like 16 years old.
Nice. Who got you into paintball?
Lemming got me into paintball.
I love that man. His butt needs to get out of the water and come to the woods every once in a while. I miss him.
Yeah, I need to get out of the water and come to the woods more.
I'm sorry. Yeah, for those of you guys who don't know, Tommy is a skilled scuba diver, right?
Yeah, I'm a dive master. I'm diving like every week, every other week.
That's awesome. Florida woman in the flesh. Let's go. Love to hear it. So what was your very first paintball marker? What'd you have?
Oh, it's a spider or something.
Spider.
Yeah, from Walmart.
Yeah.
And then I quickly moved to. I had a generic pump. I forget who made it. It was a Cocker pump for like a few weeks, and then I traded that because I got a T2, and that's the T2 I still have. That was my first real paintball marker. Yeah, that thing.
Oh, hell yeah.
That thing's old.
I love it. Was that the one that had the bent little arm on it? That one you showed?
No, it's the purple and green one.
Oh, really? That's your original one? Really?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I wonder how many people actually still have their original marker. I know I don't. I know for sure that thing is long in the wind. I think actually my brother stole it and sold it. I think that's the way mine went down. Carrie, how long have you been playing paintball for?
I started playing paintball in 1996 at a fraternity rush event back in college, and then my first scenario was in '97. And the first time I commanded a game was in 2002 at Paintball, Arkansas. It was a game called Wizards by Max Extreme Sports.
Oh, that's awesome, dude. Hell yeah. Wait, you said your fraternity? Like you went to a fraternity event?
Yeah, it was for Rush. They had a Rush event at a paintball field down in Miami, and I kind of fell in love with it, and I started playing every weekend after that.
Sick, bro. Sick, dude. Nice. What was your first marker? Or first off, let me rewind. Who got you into the game? Did it just you stumbled across it?
Yeah, the first scenario, a buddy of mine told me about scenario games, and we went to Wayne's World back in 1997 for Fool's Gold 2, and I fell in love with scenario then, and I've been playing scenario ball pretty much scenario and rec ball ever since.
Oh, dude, I love it. I love it. Have you ever participated in an actual tournament?
A little bit here and there, the small 3-man, 5-man, 10-man ones, but it was all local events. It wasn't anything on a national level or anything like that.
Okay, but you putted around with it. You got into the game a little bit more on the tournament side. Sweet.
Oh yeah.
What was your first marker? What was the one that you were like, this is the golden eye, the golden gun, man? What was it?
My first marker was a VM68 Magnum made by Sheridan. It had a 9-ounce CO2 front and a 20-ounce CO2 in the back. It weighed as much as a real rifle did, and it sounded like one going off every time you pull the trigger. After that was, I think, a Spider Compact, and then I got one of the original Matrixes that Dye came out with, the very, very first one. Then a couple of Cockers, and then I fell in love with Planet Eclipse, and I've been shooting Eclipse ever since.
Oh, dude, right. Yeah, I can definitely attest for the Planet Eclipse side of things, for sure. For sure. But tell me, what kind of markers do you, what's your tool of your craft? What is now how you get the job done? What is the one?
With as little paint as possible with the pump.
Really?
Yeah, I have 6 pumps now. I'm buying a 7th one from Frank on my team. I just love pumps. I've always played pump. I don't know why I fell in love with it when I was a teenager, and I've just stuck with it.
There's something to be said about the accuracy and the danger and also the lightweightness that comes with running a pump.
Yeah.
You can get so much tighter. You're running on just do you run a stick feed or you run a full on 180 round hopper?
No, I ran a 100-round hopper and a 17 tank. A little longer, a little more air, but I find the 15 you get just that little more with the 17.
Yeah. Especially when you're playing for accuracy and in a
Mhm.
long scenario event, it's nice to
Mhm.
have just that. Got to reach down to the bottom of the bottle for sure.
Mhm.
Nice, dude. Nice. All right. Heck yeah. All right, Carrie, what is your tool of the trade, sir?
I got a Planet Eclipse LVR, which is their upgraded version of the 1.5 LV1 or the LV 1.5. I use a die rotor R2, and I have a Ninja 88 or a Ninja 78 or 88 cubic inch tank.
Nice. Volume, sir. We are on the volume side of things.
I try to play like I'm playing with a pump. Obviously, with paint, you want to be as conservative as you can. But also playing in Florida, you got to be able to punch through the brush whenever you can. So chainsaw it down,
Big facts there for sure. Wanted to move into couple of questions just regarding like different places you guys have been to. Tommy, where have you traveled outside of the state and played at other fields, or have you always been a Florida gal?
I think I've traveled. You were generaling a game in Maryland, and we drove up there over the weekend and drove back. And then I was like, I had never traveled for a game before, and then I was like, you know what? Traveling for a game is a lot of work. I like when we have so much great fields in Florida, and the weather's great, and you can just kind of play paintball all year round. And why travel?
We're pretty lucky. We are pretty blessed.
Oh, you know what? I did Fulda.
Okay, yep.
Yeah.
All right, so Maryland, North Carolina, Florida, those are solid hubs for paintball. That's awesome. Sweet. Carrie, you've traveled out of state before?
Oh yeah. I've played paintball in Reno, Texas, Arkansas. I've played Sherwood Forest. I've played EMR. I have not made it to Fulda Gap yet. That's on one of that's my list of games to get to. Oh, but I traveled pretty heavily in the early 2000s with my team at the time.
Nice. Yeah, I have to say, if anyone ever gets a chance, if they've got the knees for it, go to the Command Decision War Game Center. Eric Engler runs a real tight ship and an immense, epic facility there. Truly is we've referenced it as the Super Bowl of paintball for sure for us come around November, as Fulda Gap falls on the weekend just before World Cup does. So it turns into both those weekends. Either A, you're going to Fulda Gap, that's the game you're playing, or B, you're on practice and practicing the layout before World Cup. But it definitely is a chance. If you ever get an opportunity, go check out Fulda Gap. It is a really, really awesome game. The facilities kick butt. The guys out there, Rabbit, Engler, these guys know what they're doing. They have got an immense facility. And I think the event last year was 1,600, between 16 to 1,400 players. I think there was 8 armor divisions that were out there last year. Turns into Florida's like little get together. We all just head up there and go play Fulda Gap. It's a good time out there. Oh yeah. A little bit of a couple of personal questions, not to get too weird in this element here, because I'm curious for the people as well as myself too. We'll go to Carrie. We'll hit you first. Carrie, if you're getting your front door just beat on by a team, you have your back up against the wall during a scenario game, your back's up against the wall, you've got every blend of player involved with it, and you see what's happening, what is something that you would recommend, since you have commanded other games before, what's something that you would recommend, what would you do in that situation?
Well, first you gotta work at it and pump your players up and make sure that they're still on the field and playing. If it's in a situation where the field's at a disadvantage because one side or the other is going on, you can always communicate with the other commander and ask them to pull their forces back. What a lot of people don't realize is that if you don't communicate what's going on, then the other side doesn't necessarily know. With not a lot of people using radios and communication and stuff like that, they might not necessarily have control of their players. But it doesn't hurt to say, hey, can you guys give us a little bit of a breather or whatnot? Because you want the guys you're shooting at to have as much fun as you're having. And if it comes to the point where your guys aren't having fun anymore, then you've got to make a change.
Absolutely. As someone who's been on the receiving end of an absolute beating, you don't let them see you bleed. But at the same process, though, these are also the same people that are throwing paint at you. At one point, you're going to be throwing paint together at another event, at another recreational day, or maybe at another tournament or something. These are our friends. We're playing Army, right? And just to double check here too, Tommy, do you know Warhawk? Do you know this guy?
I've seen him on and off and over the years. I actually played a game back in it must have been like 2009, I want to say, that he generaled. It was over at, I think, like the Tampa area. I want to say like Palmetto something, Paintball. And that's the first time I met Kerry, was he was playing under him.
Kerry's going through his Rolodex right now of how much paintball he went through. I looked at his eyes, like click, 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 click.
When
awesome.
you get into command, and you play as many games as I have, and commanded as many or exoed as many games as I had, it all does tend to blend together. But there are always players that stand out, and I know one thing: I'm proud to be able to play against one of the teams I've considered one of my friendly teams over the years, War Machine, and I'm looking forward to a good challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Here, sir.
Yeah.
Here. Sorry, I've had this sword sitting in front of me for far too long, and I haven't touched it. I've been a good boy, and now this is actually going to be your guys' general award that you guys are going to be. One of you shall win. I can just play with this thing for far too long. I'm going to set that down. In fact, we're going to now set this away from me so I don't touch it anymore. Awesome. Tommy, let's say throw this back in your hand here. What's something that you would say to the players if your back was up against the wall? You're trying to fight it out the best you can.
It's time, because eventually they're gonna get tired and bored, and they're gonna walk off, and then we're gonna be at the 50 or on their base. So just, breathe. Just give it some time. Don't give up, and eventually you'll be back at the 50.
No, well said, right? Well said. Eventually, they'll get bored and go grab lunch. You know what I mean? Eventually, they're going to want to go get a snack, right? Or, in the same sense, exactly what Carrie, you said too, man, is the communication between the other general. Like, if it's just the gas is just not being let, hey, man, can I get a little breather? It goes both ways, because you guys at the end of this, Carrie understands this, and I've gone through it as well. And it's something that's going to be a little bit new for you too, Tommy, is you're going to go through different emotions. It's actually pretty crazy, the kind of emotions and levels that you end up going through of when commanding. Big highs. Yeah, we are absolutely putting it on them. We are rolling coal. Super lows. Damn, we lost it. XYZ. You're feeling down in the dumps. Mid-tier. All right, we're fighting tooth and nail. You're going to go through so many of these different extremes, and it's a lot. It is genuinely a lot, and something that I always reiterate and say to commanders, whether you've been seasoned, you know the game. UPS is here. I'm sure they got a package for us for the field. Sorry. Oh, I hate being a squirrel brain. But you'll also end up, learning a lot about yourself, right? You don't have to do everything, right? So you have to put trust in those that you have with you. It can be this one random, how many times has come together where there's this one random player wearing a medic armband on, has got a helmet on, and is full GI bro, ready to go to war, and is asking you, what do you need? What do you need? What do you need? And you're like, bro, can you just give me 10 seconds and chill for a second? Let me breathe, right? That same player that you end up feeling a little like, hey, kid, also is one that can save your day by being the sneaky one, by getting water to the troops, by being the pack mule. we are a tribalistic people, and being able to rely on our people to help us achieve something is an incredible thing. So I'm really, really stoked for you, Tommy, to find this new path. And I hope you don't scare you off with this event. I hope you command again. It is a lot. It's we were discussing earlier in the room. It's selfless, right? Oh, is that a pink puppy that I see wagging the tail? Oh goodness. I'm a dog fan. I'm an animal lover. Oh, the pink puppy. So, where is a place in the United States, maybe the world, let's say the world, anywhere in the world, where's somewhere you want to go and play at least once? Where would you want to go play, Tommy?
Can it be a place that doesn't exist anymore, or you can't play anymore?
No, it has to exist. I know what you're going to say because I wish I could go do it. Carrie, did you ever do Blanding?
I've done all but one of the games of Blanding I've been at.
Tommy, was that what you were going to say?
Yeah, I did Blanding once, and I want to go back and do it again.
Oh, you guys both suck. I never had a chance to do it. Oh, that's awesome. No, Blanding's out of the question. We can't do Blanding. Where's somewhere else you would love to go play?
Oregon. I think there's a field in Oregon, right? An OX field in Oregon.
It's not an OX field, but there's a Super Game Oregon
Super Game,
is hosted out there.
I wanted to do Super Game Oregon because I like the Pacific Northwest, and I think it'd be real fun to play in not humidity and heat.
Time out. All right. You're getting wet. I'm just telling you that now. You're getting wet. The best way that I for the first time when we went out to Super Game Oregon, we went out and played, and absolute blast out there. I highly recommend if you are on the West Coast or anywhere near anywhere, go play. You will have an absolute blast at Super Game Oregon. However, it's humid out there. You are wet. You are soggy. It's gonna happen. It is a matter of when. You won't be hot. That is the nice factor. You will not be hot. You will be moist, however, for sure. It's a good time to get out there. Carrie, what about you? Where's your, like, man, I want to go. I want to go so bad.
Well, you've already mentioned it. Command Decisions is one of the places I want to go. I'd love to go back to Sherwood Forest. That field is absolutely amazing. Last time I was there, it was snowing and we were playing in the snow, which is something a lot of Florida people don't get a chance to do. And again, I haven't got a chance to play at Fulda Gap either, and that's another one of those fields I've heard nothing but great things about and really want to get a chance to experience.
Yeah, man, Mamba, you know Mamba. When Mamba gets on that excavator, bro, and that man gets on a mission on his mind of what he wants to accomplish, man, absolutely amazing stuff that they've created out there. That field, I as someone working on a field, I can appreciate genuinely of what kind of labor and effort goes into these goes into the field. And man, they've been nonstop. Engler and Mamba both have been just nonstop working on the field. They get to what's nice about North Carolina is they get to dig and make trenches. Something us Floridians, we don't get to have that ever. I don't feel like fighting mosquitoes. It's not happening. So we're gonna go up. They get to go down, and they dug in one spot. They set up a bunch of like race car tires up, and then filled it up with the fill dirt around, and took a satellite dish and put it over. They made one of the meanest goblin holes, bro, that it's just, you want to push a mojo, slam a mojo inside of that thing and don't let him come out. It really is a cool facility, man. Ooh. if you had, Tommy, an opportunity to go and you had the check didn't matter. The check didn't matter. You could say, yep, I'm buying this now. What is the marker that you would purchase right now? You would click add to cart now and check out.
What I would like right now would just be another Phantom, but in blue and yellow.
Ooh,
And I know that's like not an expensive marker, but I like to play pump, so
right. There's a company actually. So when you go out to Super Game Oregon, I'll send you the company. I forget the name, but they have been remaking a lot of the parts for Phantom and have completely tricked these things out. And they had a whole. I asked them if I could start stocking their product at our facility at OX because I just loved them, absolutely loved them. You will definitely. I'll shoot you over that information. There's definitely out there, but a nice new Phantom sounds like a right one. Carrie, what's one you're gonna squeeze the trigger on, man? What's the one?
Well, if Planet Eclipse comes out with another version of the LVR, I would in a second go for one of those, especially if it was like a blue to black fade. Oh, it would be beautiful.
A new Poppet.
Yeah, I've always shot Poppet markers. Even the Matrix I had was okay. I've just always loved the feel and the way the Poppets shoot.
See. I can definitely attest to that. Nothing shoots quite. It's a totally different animal shooting something with an open bolt setting versus a spool valve or even like an auto mag with a closed bolt system or something like that. It's totally different. Your cocker versus shooting something like a spool valve. It's night and day difference. And then you shoot something like an LVR it's crazy. What is, Tommy, somewhere in your adventure, what was one of the most ridiculous things that you've seen that's appropriate for the internet at this time? What is something that was one of the most ridiculous things that you saw at a scenario event?
Man, that's a hard question.
Nothing that speaks out to you like obviously we got a lot of stories that we can go on about hurricane paintball where the glory days of getting ridiculous out there for sure. Maybe it was maybe a move that you saw during the gameplay. Was it in camp or something? One of the craziest things that I saw recently when Jenny went up to go command up at in New York at the Angelica location, her Tomb Raider game. There was a what's it called? There was a live band. We had live music playing. The game was over. The ladies had tea time, and it was a live heavy metal band that was getting down, dude. It was just maybe not a ridiculous thing, but I've never been to an event where there was live music playing. It was something so cool to me, and that was like, man, I loved it. Dude, I could have listened to them for hours, man. They did a 2.5 hour set and packed up and rode out home, and I was like, damn, this is what would keep me hanging out at the field.
Okay, I got one. Most ridiculous thing I've seen.
Is your mute button on? I see it coming up on the screen here. Double check your stuff.
I don't think I'm muted.
Okay, good. Because I can hear you. I just see the little red icon on your on the big screen.
No, I don't know. The RC car tank that they used to have at blending. That's the most ridiculous thing I've seen. I didn't think about it for a sec, but I mean, yeah, that was pretty ridiculous.
Well, tell me more. Just don't tell me what
it
that
was an RC car.
Elaborate.
They drove it around like a tank at blending.
Like, you're talking like a little RC car.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't little, but It was like
a little monster truck, RC truck
yeah,
was a tank.
yeah.
How?
It had markers on it if I remember correctly, right? Carrie might
Yep,
remember
it had markers.
better than me.
It had it had a double trouble on it. It was twin A5s, and they put it on the top of it with the big ass hoppers, and they drive it around. They peek around the corner, and they'd send the tank out with a little RC car and drive it around, and then just shoot at people with it.
That's brilliance. Yes, that's scenario paintball. Bringing in your Call of Duty stuff. You had the RCXD, no C4, but we got paint.
Yep.
I love it. I love it. That's fantastic. That is it. Okay, sweet. All right, so live music, an RC car with double troubles rolling coal. Sweet. Like, were you allowed to engage with the RC car?
You know, I don't remember.
You could, but nobody really did. They did try to law rock it a couple of times, but the person driving it was pretty on the ball about dodging.
Yeah, no doubt. Because like you and I guess this is something that comes with like players like ourselves, right? We see a fun toy, someone's creation that they did, right? Like you get 10 dudes dumping paint on someone's RC car, like it's ruined, right? Like it's not going to recover from that unless it's got the most immense aluminum shell of protection on it. It's going to break the toy, right? Well, that's someone's stuff that they made, you know. But what's cool is that you guys were able to see it. It was functioning, it was in play, and no one destroyed the stuff, right? People weren't being jerks on it or a-holes. They played, they let the game play with this little toy. I love that. I love that. Carrie, what is the most wild thing? I know you've seen some things. What's something that you've seen? The wildest thing?
There's a couple of them. There was a game out in Texas called the Texas Throwdown. They had a mechanical bull at the field for the throwdown that people could get up and ride. They had a hot tub there that event. They had a private Texas Hold'em tent where if you completed certain missions, you got access to the tent that had the hot tub. But I got to say, one of the most memorable things that I had was at Blanding again. Cookie from Bad Monkeys had a little Red Ryder golf cart that he put a law rocket and two A5s on, and he would wheel it around, park it, and it had plexiglass protecting him, and he would shoot the law rocket at different buildings and use the A5s for infantry defense. It was watching him hump around this little tiny Red Ryder wagon was just hysterical.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, and Cookie's probably one of the most ingenious individuals I've met as far as coming up with ideas for stuff that I've ever had the honor of getting to know.
I tell you, like Tommy, you know Cookie, of course, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, you swear some people get touched by the tism, whatever it is. They get touched by something, right? And maybe they're not as socially functional, right, with it, that you'd call in the general public, right? We love Cookie, but that dude's brain works on a level that I will never be able to even come close to. The creations that Cookie has done, and I've only seen Cookie play one time as ground and pound. You know, as the years go on, you know, your bodies start getting really worn down and stuff. And Cookie was out there just pulling his little Red Ryder wagon. Like, it was a golf cart?
No, like literally Red Ryder wagon, like the one you put your kids in.
That's awesome. I've never heard of this Red Wagon Destructo Devastator.
Yeah, and he took a toolbox and put it up top, and he put all the paint in the toolbox, and then he had two tubes going down to the A5s at the bottom. So he had probably 2 cases of paint just ready to go into the guns, and the law rocket was in the middle. It was the most insane ground and pound creation I think I've seen.
But it's a relatively small platform to try to put a rocket on also.
Yeah.
So
like
he
I
would
said,
get out.
it was great.
So he would get out and then just pull it along?
Yep, that's exactly what he would do. He'd push it around and line it up with a couple of the buildings, and then just change the angle by using the handle of the Red Ryder cart on the backside, and just hose at people and low rocket the heck out of stuff.
That's so awesome. That's so awesome. Oh, look at Art Oz, our Hand of Oz behind the scenes, is playing with his art. Look at him go. Look at him go, Oz. Nope. Moreover. Yep. That's a good spot. All right. What is something that you would say to someone that's right on the edge, that you think that they want to come play a big game, but they're not sure if they are ready for it or if they're up for it? Tommy, what's something that you would say to that player to get them to come play a game? You know, whether it's a CPX game, whether it's an Outdoor Xtreme game, what's something that you would tell a player, hey, come play this game? What would you say to them?
Paintball is filled with a bunch of good people, and so if you're on the fence, you're gonna have a good time, regardless of you play for 10 minutes, you play for 10 hours, or whatever you're doing. Paintball is just full of good people, and I think that's reason enough just to go out and hang out at least and play like an hour or two. And if you don't like it, you don't like it, but you'll have a good time regardless.
Love it. Love it. Carrie, what would you tell that player?
Well, one of the things that I was always told when I first started playing paintball was each one teach one. And what you got to do is you got to take that new player under your wing, or if you're in a command situation, put that brand new player with somebody that's experienced that can show them how fun it can be. Because scenario ball isn't just you go out there and you play for 20 minutes and then you sit down and you go out and play for 20 minutes. You could be out there for hours. You could be out there, like Tommy said, you could be out there for 10 minutes and get shot. You could be out there for 10 hours and not get shot. It's probably one of the most long-term adrenaline creating sports out there.
Absolutely. There's Tommy, where was your first scenario game you ever played?
I don't know. I have to think about that. I'm trying to think. I don't have the greatest memory. So it was something in Florida.
Right.
I don't remember. There's so many scenarios I played that I don't even remember.
Have you ever played in a tournament before?
No. I'm more of a easygoing, casual, do my own thing, and I don't like to I'm not into like the high intensity work as a team thing. I like my team calm and casual and kind of do our own things, and I would not do good in tournament.
I got you. All right. Carrie, where was your first game? You said it was up at Wayne's, was it?
Wayne's World 1997 at Fool's Gold 2.
You're old. Fuck.
Well, I mean, yeah.
97 at Wayne's, man. How many players do you think were up at that event?
That event had 2,600 players.
Man, the Godfather, bro. Wayne Dallack, man, there's something to be said here. You know, you're talking about 2,000 players when you were playing here, and still to this day, Wayne's World is still an event that has taken place, the grand finale, every single year without missing. That's awesome. Awesome. Have any of you guys ever played mag-fed paintball before? I know, Tommy, you're used to playing stock class, which is similar in the same element of it, but you ever run with a mag before?
I have once before, and I'm gonna actually run MagFed this game for the little amount that am on the field. I'll have my MagFed with me. We'll see if I actually get to shoot some faces with it or not. But it's weird, especially with first strikes, because you're so used to after years and years and years of your ball arcing and first strikes go straight, that it's a weird transition to switch to something that goes straight when you don't expect it to.
Right. Absolutely. There's definitely something to be said about that. Ever since Planet Eclipse came out with that EMF marker, that ruined me. I was a hopper player my whole life. Never ever thought I would ever get into that realm of like guys playing pump. Like, that's cute. That's fun, I guess. Eh. And then trying that, and I absolutely fell in love with, and I didn't think it was going to happen. I fell in love with limited ammo gameplay.
Mhm.
I think it was just such a fun style of it. Carrie, have you ever whipped out a mag before?
I have 2 MagFed markers, but I've never actually got to play with them because I always end up loaning them out to people. But with the MagFed game coming up for Dreaded Legends, I'm looking forward to actually getting out there and trying it.
Yeah, man, and it's going to be a good one. So, you know what? We've talked enough about getting your guys' background. I want to give you guys a little bit of some information, some little inside about what is taking place for Dreaded Legends. So first on Friday, we have our MagFed only game that's going to take place. This is a 2-part MagFed game that I came up with, and I hope you guys really enjoy it. It's going to be an hour long, constant insertion. Your teams are going to be fighting over for the first 30 minutes over our new pirate ship that we built. It is going to be taking hold. You need to get in there, need to control it, and make sure you have control of that by the end of the 30 minutes. You guys will be spawning over at what will be called a different location for the game map, but for you guys that are familiar with it, it's called White Castle, and for Mothership will be your guys' 2 starting locations. That's where you guys are going to be crashing at for the MagFed game. There will be an area that is going to be taped off that is not in play. That's basically going to be anywhere from the helicopter towards Twisted Town area that is not going to be in play. So it's going to be pretty much face on to you guys just crashing over at the pirate ship to start off with. After that 30 minutes is done, you guys will be funneled to new starting locations, new areas where you will bound up at. And once that 30 minutes, the first 30 minutes are over, it now clicks into take and control the Twisted Town area. There will be no pause. There will be no hard restart. It will be just a constant boom. You're inserted right back into the game. And you will be taking and controlling a flag that will be over in the Twisted Town area with all the buildings. So that's where we have, in the beginning, will be long range. You guys will have a lot of distance between them. And then it will be then moving into much close quarters. You will be knowing exactly the name on the back of the jersey when you blast that fool, for sure. That is, again, MagFed only. So it's not including stock class. That's not going to include there. It has to be a MagFed marker. If it comes down to where we're looking at the numbers, and pending, if there's some people who have the box mags, the die-dam box mags, we will have to make sure that those are balanced correctly. So come prepared for both with if you have teammates and players that want to hold and have the box mag as well as their mags, we need to have those limited. But we'll cross that bridge once we see the player count. So if you guys have guys that are looking for the box mag stuff, please have them reach out to me. Let me know what those numbers are so we can get ahead of the game on that. So that will be the MagFed only game. Now, the real thing that you guys are about, your commander game. I love this. So this is going to, again, play into, Tommy, your realm of it. I think you'll be very well at. This is breech load only 5v5. So you can carry as much paint as you want with you, but you are only allowed to load one in the chamber, fire, load another one into the chamber, fire. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So you could have 2,000 rounds on your back, but you are only able to load one at a time. With me so far?
Yeah.
We're going to duke it out right on the pipe field. So right up front, hyperball, 5v5. This will be, I guess, a little tournament-esque, but with limited ammo in that element for you, Tommy. So first time for you then in this game. It'll be a 2 out of 3. Winner gets their choice of the side where they want to play at to the start on Saturday. And then on Sunday, we will be switching bases on Saturday. Cool? Pretty easy.
Cool.
Yeah.
Easy peasy. Then we go into we're having a little fun day. I want you guys to be able to get together and hang out. One of my favorite movies in the entire world is Pirates of the Caribbean. I love so many different Pirates movies. Johnny Depp is a master when it comes to these movies. So we will be having a costume contest following after the Commander game and the MagFed game. We will be having the winner of the costume contest will be getting a free case of paint and a little award that our buddy Drew from our airsoft community has made up a nice little award for you guys for whoever wins the general or the costume contest, and you get a free case of paint for winning that one. We've got 3 judges that are not from Paintball. They are my friends that love Pirates, love the role play, and they do a lot of those different kind of events and stuff. And so they love costumes. They love people getting involved, and they're Pirates fans. So that'll be a really, really cool thing to get involved with. Carrie, are you bringing a costume, sir?
Yep.
It needs to be age appropriate.
I'm not. No. That's in the past.
Understood. No cookieettas anymore. I got you. Understood.
Yeah. There's no Frankenfooter carries coming out for this game.
Thank you, sir. Tommy, are you dressing up? Are you getting in this costume contest?
I have not gotten a costume yet, but I plan to get one. So, does mine have to be age appropriate?
Yes. It's a family event. Okay, look. Afterwards, when y'all get into your guys' own campsite, let it rip, tape chip. All right, that's you guys. All right, that's you. I know with Carrie, there's going to probably be a lot of hair, and I'm there. You know. All right. So moving on. So when it comes to Saturday gameplay is a pirate game. There will be, the best way I can describe this event is a loot and shoot kind of game. You're going to have close to your bases, not at your bases, but close to your bases, you are going to have your own treasure chests, right? Your loot of whether for Tommy, for looted, being a pirate hunter, sometimes loot goes missing and doesn't always make it back to the authorities, right? So it costs to operate your ship. I understand that. Your crew, it costs. So you're going to want to acquire some jewels and riches to keep your crew going. And Carrie, let's be honest, we know that those pirates, they got 3 things on their mind. They've got money, loot, right? They've got rum on their mind, and when they get to port, well, you get it. So you're going to want to be able to acquire and keep your loot in your hidden chests, right? And those chests are going to be close to your CP, but not quite at your CP. So definitely want to keep an eye on those areas, right? Sure would be a shame to have someone come loot it. Throughout the field, there will also be treasure chests that have keys and locks on them. These will be for specific missions that you will have to get to these locations, find this prop, find these things. These will be going on all day on Saturday. However, there's a couple of other things that will be happening. Not only will you have to be controlling these certain ports that you would want to be able to dock and get resources from, but there will be mini missions that will be taking place. And there will be an off-field location that you guys are going to be wanting to get to when you got some free time. You got that player that's like, hey, what do you need? General, I'm here for you. Let me help you out. This is where that player, you're going to want to send that player over to this area off field. And this is where you're going to pick up your mini missions. Now, those mini missions are added to the total of points gathered throughout the weekend. So you're going to have a main mission that you're going to want to get to. You're going to have a flag location that you're going to want to get to. You're also going to have, when you have an opportunity and you have someone, to send them off to go get to those mini missions. I highly recommend don't sleep on those mini missions. When you catch your breath, you're going to want to cali those as much as you can. They can be anything from puzzles to, what you call it, with having a history teacher involved with this, it's going to be probably some questions. So I would definitely recommend. There's a couple of documentaries that are on Netflix that have some incredible knowledge about different pirates. I forget the name of it. I have to go back and look it up, but I'll send it to you guys. Do some of, if you've got some friends and family that are involved in this, there's no, people can get at these mini missions, and if they have the knowledge that is within old piracy and the times that we're talking about, they're going to be very valuable in this, going in through these mini missions. So don't sleep on those. And then the same thing is going to be taking place on Sunday, where it is, again, this is missions. As you guys have played our Jurassic games, so you know how we do a Jurassic in similar to Super Game 2, where it's a domination, flag control stuff. That's not happening with this event. Sunday is, again, more missions. These missions, again, are something you want to gather. Flag locations, you want to gather those. You're going to have to decide on certain things that, hey, we just may not be able to get this location. Sacrifices may have to be made in order for you to gain points in other ways. So don't get tunnel vision. Keep an open mind on ways that you can navigate to be able to move ahead and gather points throughout the weekend. And then, without a doubt, we are going to have ourselves a final battle. Now, where final battle is being located at is something I've been talking with my brother, Zach. There has been a lot of requests for the hyperball field for a final battle right up front, where king and country get to see it. But we'll get back to you guys on that, where we feel that the next game for the next final battle is going to take place. Do you, Tommy, have any questions coming into this game?
No. I mean, I'm excited to get out there and play finally after thinking about it and planning for it for so long. So we're just gonna take it as it comes, and we're gonna have fun.
Do you have a game plan set? Do you kind of know what you want to do? On?
Yes, I kind of know what I want to do game on.
Excellent. I love it. You got a plan. That's it. Love it. Carrie, do you have any questions, brother?
I got nothing. I'm good.
You got nothing. Nothing.
I don't have any questions, but I have my plans, and we'll see how it goes.
That is definitely something that I learned from you guys remember Opie from Doom Troopers. He told me very simply, my first time commanding, he says, you can have all the plan you want, but the moment you run into first contact, your plan has gone to crap. And don't worry about it. Just be fluid. Be able to adjust and move. And have the right people to make the right moves and adjust with. And I think you guys, after looking at your guys' registration, you guys definitely have a solid game, solid teams backing each other up. And I think this is going to be a heck of a good game. This was originally, back in the day, back years and years ago, it was originally asked and discussed about with CPX about hosting Dreaded Legends at our facility. And things just didn't pan out that way. And then some went to Florida Tracks and Trails, and went to other locations in North Carolina. And now I'm very thankful that it's come back home, and we are ready to set a Pirates of the Caribbean themed, not quite Pirates of the Caribbean. It's more history based. It's more knowledgeable, true stuff. You know, it's not just a make believe game. This is some history and facts that will be behind it. So I'm very excited to do this, you guys. I've taken up so much of your guys' evenings. You guys get back to your loved ones. Carrie, get back to work. Tommy, get back with your loved ones, man. Pet that pooch for me.
Okay.
Carrie, give your Kevin a big hug, man. Give your daughter a big love for me, bro. Guys, this is Dezi, been with CPX and Outdoor OX Files and Outdoor Xtreme Paintball. I wear so many damn hats. Tommy, last words. What would you tell the players that are on the fence of who to come play for and you want them to come play for you? Last words.
Come join Blue and have some fun. That's what it's all about, having fun.
That's it. That's it. Carrie, what do you got for us for the red team? What do you got?
Well, everyone knows pirates love their freedom. So if you enjoy freedom, then you need to join the pirate side.
There it is. There it is. Join the red side or join the blue side. Heard that. All right, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure. I love you guys, and we'll see you guys soon, man.